Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio on a Wednesday morning. The host countries for the World Cup are completely knocked out of the World Cup now. Quarterfinals are set, and it looks like I think I'm going to have to root for Norway, maybe. I love that kid, man. But also rooting for England. It's kind of a mixed bag. You know, I wish USA was in it, but at the same time, there's no pressure now. We just sit back and watch the competition.
How about the real Cinderella, Switzerland? Nobody expected them to be anywhere, and here they are in the quarterfinals as well.
Pretty close.
It is. Really, it's an amazing story. As far as the USA is concerned, the soccer pundits around the country and around the world, for that matter, have had now a couple of, a little bit more than 24 hours to think about the loss and so forth. And the disappointment is rather profound, in my opinion. Not so much that the USA lost, because you didn't really expect them to get to the championship, but there was some thought that they could make the quarterfinal round and maybe even the semifinal round, but no. And I think the disappointment stems from the fact that when the USA got to this point, USA had a relatively easy draw. They had a pod. These were teams that the USA could beat and did, and finished. They did have the one loss, but that was without all their starting players in there. But nonetheless, they get to a game against a team that is an international power. Now, Belgium is not among the really top-level power teams, but they are good, very good. And I think the thought was, well, the USA can get past this team, and they did not. What's the level of improvement? Well, the soccer experts seem to think that there wasn't all that much of an improvement over the past World Cups of this decade. So I guess the gnashing of teeth, so to speak, and the complaining and so forth and so on continues. Will the USA get any better? Well, we'll find out. Anyway, the round of 8 is set for this particular World Cup. I really think France and Argentina will be there, but we'll see what happens.
Speaking of Argentina, I was heavily rooting for Egypt yesterday. They were up 2-0. Up until about 70, 75 minutes into that match. And then all of a sudden, Argentina scores 3 goals unanswered, win the game. I like I said, and I have been saying, it's so funny to me that the soccer fans, football fans, feel exactly the same way about officiating in FIFA as we do about the officiating in the NFL, because
corruption.
It's literally, it's rigged. But I think Egypt kind of got a little bit of a raw deal.
One slight correction. The goals were not unanswered, because Egypt did get a third goal, and that's to what you're making reference to. They kicked home a third goal, which would have created an altogether different circumstance, seemingly, but it was disallowed. It was disallowed by the referee, who called a holding or something like that after about a 10-minute review, a video review. So the Egyptian coach hollers out corruption, criminals fixed, and all this sort of thing. Didn't allow the goal, and as a result, Lionel Messi tied it up with a header at 2-2, and then Argentina won about 5 minutes later with a 3-2. Great comeback by the Argentines, and they're really a good team. They are the defending champions of the World Cup. I suspect they'll be right there at the very end this year. You have Messi playing on the team, who's one of the soccer world's all-time greats, and they're pretty doggone good. But still, you have to think, here is the Americans are hollering all this, and the comments about FIFA and all that. Well, now the world gets into it. Egypt is right there. Now, this is corrupt, and so forth and so on. There was another game, and it was very, very much less than exciting. Colombia and Switzerland, nothing at the end, nothing in the overtime. They went to the shootout, and the Swiss won it. Switzerland 4-3 in the shootout. That's where the kicker goes right against the goalie, and indeed it was, I guess if you view something like that exciting, this reporter does not, but be that as it may, Switzerland is now into the round of 8.
I thought it was pretty exciting. I mean, it's kind of boring at the same time. We were actually having band practice during it and watching it in the background while we were practicing, so I guess kind of the mixture of doing all of that at the same time did make it exciting for me. Action kicks back off tomorrow. France-Morocco should be a really good matchup. Got our Chiefs Happy Hour coming up July 20th, Monday night at the Alamo Draft House. And as we like to do, that's kind of the kickoff before training camp begins the following week.
Indeed it does. The training camp will open up the week of July 29th. July 29th will be the first practice session, but it is closed. Only special ticket holders, no media, no nothing like that. That'll be the first day, and that's a Wednesday. The players will all arrive, of course, several days before that. Then the first open practice to everybody will be the following day, and that'll be July 30th. So actually the season not very far away, and hey, bring it on. Could be a very interesting one.
Yesterday, the St. Louis Cardinals had a doubleheader against the Brewers, who they're going to be battling against in that division, and I hope this isn't a sign of the future to come, because it would really, really suck if the Cardinals had the team they've got this year only to really get knocked out, because that division is going to be very difficult.
Well, the Milwaukee Brewers are the defending champs, several-year defending champs, and they are a very good baseball team. They're a very fundamental team. They're not necessarily colorful and smash the ball all over the lot, but they are very good, and their pitching is outstanding. Anyway, the Cardinals lose 2 games yesterday and have lost the first 3 in this 5-game series. They'll play again tonight and tomorrow night. First game, well, the Cardinals had the lead, but Milwaukee came back and won it 4-3. Jacob Misiorowski, who's one of the phenoms of Major League Baseball, started the game, and the Cardinals actually got 2 home runs off him. Now, here's a guy who throws over 100 miles an hour, but the Cardinals have some sluggers on their team who are waiting for that fastball. Jordan Walker being one of them, Ivan Herrera being one of them. Those guys had home runs. Then Misiorowski settled down, struck out 11, left the game in the 8th inning. Christian Yelich had a key RBI double, and the Brewers won that first game 4-3. Cardinals got the lead in the second game. And the second game, of course, later on, it's a day-night doubleheader, and they're going along, and then here comes Milwaukee into the 7th inning with a 7-run explosion. 7 runs in the 7th inning, and go on to a 10-2 win. So a doubleheader sweep for the Brewers. Cardinals are now 10.5 games out of first place, still barking at a wild card position, but this, as we mentioned earlier, Mike, I think was a key, or is still continuing to be a key situation for the Cardinals front office, because as you end this 5-game series, you have a weekend series with the Arizona Diamondbacks. After that, it's the All-Star break. Do you make a decision? And the answer is yes, decision on what to do at the trading deadline. I would think the Cardinals don't do anything.
No.
That would be my guess.
Would mess with it. And again, they have done a really good job, and that is it. That game is a consistent game. It's a slow game. But then staying on that course of inner development, I think, is finally starting to really show its payoff right now, and they should definitely stay the course if that's what they're going to do. Gotta tell you, my Royals won 3 in a row, and by the second inning, when you're losing 5-0, 5-2, you're thinking, no, this is over. But combined points of 28 runs yesterday.
Well, the interesting thing about it, it's the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Because they beat Philadelphia 15-1, and last night beat the New York Mets 16-12.
Crazy.
Now, here's the key to this. There is a Major League Baseball record tied in that game.
Yep.
Not by the team, but by an individual. My partner on our radio show over here kind of made a whimsical remark about this kid. Hey, send him to the Hall of Fame. Well, that's where he's going to end up, because he's one of the very few players. This is Tyler Tolbert. We're taking it back. Tyler Tolbert, who tied a Major League record that's pretty rare, folks. He went 12 for 12. 12 hits in 12 consecutive at-bats. This goes back to before the series with the Phillies. He had 2 games in the final there. 5 against Philadelphia, 5 against the New York Mets, 12 for 12, and ended up last night 5 for 6. Holy smokes. Lane Thomas was 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs. 16-12, the Royals beat the New York Mets. Springfield Cardinals did play last night in Tulsa, lose to the Tulsa Drillers 4-3.
Crazy. Maybe this is a new sign for the Kansas City Royals. They've got a long way to go, though. Final few in Wimbledon. What's going on across the pond?
Well, we're getting down now to the championship rounds, and a couple, interesting women's match in the quarterfinal round, because it's 2 Americans, Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula, and Coco Gauff won it 2-1. Pegula was profoundly disappointed. She's a good player, but just can't seem to get over that hump and get into a championship round. Pegula, you know who she is, and her family. family owns the Buffalo
Bills fans.
of the NFL and the Buffalo Sabres, who had a big run in the Stanley Cup. So, indeed, she's out of it. The men's play, Yannick Sinner, the top seed, got a win. Alexander Zverev, who is German, won his match. But the big one was Novak Djokovic against Felix Auger-Aliassime, who is a young Canadian player and ranked number 4 in the world, and he is good. My goodness, his serves, they were over 130 miles an hour. Of course, Novak Djokovic, that much of a slouch when it comes to serving. He's over 120. But Felix Auger-Aliassime really and Djokovic put on a great battle. 5 hours out on the court at Wimbledon. 5 hours, 5 sets. It all came down to the final set, which ended in a tie, had to go to a tiebreaker, and Novak wins it 10-8 in the tiebreaker. Let's hear it for the old guys. He's going 39 years old, and here is a 24-time Grand Slam champion calling on all that he has to win a game against a young phenom. That is pretty good.
It's definitely good, and I know you love that action yourself,
you bet.
my man. Have a great day, buddy, and I'll see you tomorrow.